your host.
Hello!
Whoa!
Hello! Is the stream okay? You about to say I'm hosting things? I'm not hosting things.
The hosting just came back up. I don't know whether that was just on whether my Twitch is being stupid.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. We're clean. Twitch is Twitch. Speaking
Okay,
of,
Twitch is
hey, it's Jarviskjir time. We had not really a week off. In fact, we had a week on, a week that was way harder work than normal, actually, because we had a week where we did a side quest little thing where characters that have had their stories sort of not exactly told, we're going to go back and tell them. Maybe some NPCs, maybe some other characters that people wanted to play. It's just a thing if people aren't all here. Speaking of, people aren't all here. Neil's sick. Why are you gonna do about it? So we're gonna continue
I'm
on.
going to about it.
How?
I'm gonna stab his character while he's sleeping
Yeah.
and take his items.
Yeah!
No. Why can't we stab his character while he's sleeping and take his items?
Plot
I think that's
immunity.
fair.
Plot immunity.
I think it's fair. I am no longer playing a lawful good character. I'm just saying. I think it's truly neutral to stab a person and take all of their items while they're
I haven't
sleeping.
had any indication that Sid is anything like a cold-blooded, sadistic killer.
That would be
But
why
sure.
the greatest con.
I don't know.
You know?
I'm pretty sure he could kill someone pretty easy if he had to. He doesn't. It's
You
just
seen him with that crossbow?
Yeah.
Take me out.
Hey, so, where are we? Dean! Where are
Yeah.
we?
We're in Northenden,
Yeah.
and the
Where's
reason for
Northenden?
that was Vale wanted to go, but Vale's not here.
Yeah, basically, you were traveling towards Lichvale Way, right?
Yeah.
And the reason is because you're generally researching the deadless, the undead, the Thorak was. Because you are curious, little beasties. And
I kind of, or Gilwyn kind of feels obligated to learn more about him, considering what happened.
exactly. So you went Northenden Way because it was close-ish, and you it was an easy trip there. And Vale was like, let's go see the city, the big city. Come on. And you did.
They're Irish.
That was not even Ireland.
Let's go to Northenden.
So, more or less, that's where we are. You did enter Northenden. You had a couple of conversations with people, and where the story takes off is
Sid being arrested for pulling out a
it's
giant
not
baluster
Sid
in
being
the middle of the
arrested.
street.
It's Sid being mercied because they realize he's just a crazy old man. And you were sent off to the Terrific Toad Tavern, all four of you together. And you were walking into this place. Beautiful statue outside of some adventurers. It's made of stone. But the tavern itself is a beautiful, homely-looking place. But too big to be actually homey, but, you know, designed to seem homely. Lovely area. When you go in, it's
I'm so sorry because you keep switching between the words. Homey or homely?
it's both.
It's homely and homey.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
I
yeah.
can accept that.
Yeah.
Things
Not-
can be yummy and scrummy, Scott.
Well,
have to
those
pick.
those are like homey means like welcoming and warm. Homely means like trashy.
Does it?
Does it?
Homely
Yeah,
doesn't
like-
mean
like-
trashy.
Like look at that homely person over there.
no,
that
that's
American?
you
Look at
using
that
it.
trash
That's you
in
using
America.
it sarcastic. That's
Oh,
not how it's
oh.
used in the UK.
Homely to us is like
Is
it
homely. It's basically.
more the same as homey, yeah.
No, like you see somebody walking by with like clear like third generation, fourth generation hand me downs, like just doesn't have the money to whatever. Like that person's homely.
Sounds
You know
like
what I
a-
mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if you walk into a cute little cottage that has like a little fire going, but this place is very homey.
This place is homely. So
Homely
you got
works the same way.
home.
yeah,
This is
it's
homely via my definition, which is fuck Scott. So this place is fuck
So I
Scott.
walk in, I'm like, wow, this
That's
place
in the
is
Oxford Dictionary,
Yeah.
actually.
Right, Sid, maybe you don't appreciate this so much, but maybe because you're looking at everything far lower, you know, things just look a lot dirtier when you can see further down below. So
The height jokes continue, or start.
it's not really height jokes when it's not like he's abnormally short. He's perfectly short for a gnome.
Perfectly short for a gnome.
In fact, he's taller than most gnomes, I think.
I'm actually 4 foot flat. I'm actually a decent sized gnome.
Yeah. Why do you two humans find that so funny?
Here. I've got some height on me, friend.
As you were defending, you went into his voice as you were defending him. You have become Sid.
So, you come into this place.
I'm in a higher register. You know, it's just how I defend myself.
So, yeah. So, this place is big, it's busy. You've come here at the end of the day, not quite before... it's not quite nighttime yet, it's, the end of the evening. You could perfectly get a nice meal in. It's busy, and it's not the kind of place... a lot of taverns in cities are sort of for the people who live here normally. This is much more for travelers, and more specifically, you can tell, adventurers. There's lots of people with weaponry. You can even see, like, a wizard or two. And something in Northenden that is just mildly surprising is that there's just a variety of races. There's a half orc you can see other gnomes, dwarves, humans, elves, a good spattering of variety. Because outside, Northenden is known as the Free City. It is a collection of all races, although they are in individual districts usually. That's not always... the lines are often blurred. So this is actually in the human district. That wouldn't seem very human to Gilwyn because it's dwarven construction in a very human way. But, some things would seem similar, like this tavern. So you come in here, you're greeted by a barmaid with a lovely large personality, who happily goes and seats you and asks where you've come. Like, where you come from? You look like you've come from quite a way. Oh, come on. Would you like some drinks?
Oh, yeah. We were actually, we were traveling a good considerable distance. Listen, I was actually wondering if we can get ourselves nice tall glasses of beer.
Absolutely, my little friend. And, just get some beer orders in. Vale is being uncharacteristically quiet, maybe because he saw this woman's large personality. So, you get all your drinks sent over, and you can look around the bar more. It's one of these places. Some bars are very shifty. You could probably do some shifty stuff here, but there's a big open garden that has lots of drinks in it. It is walled off, but it's still lovely and open, and it's quite near the water, the rivers that run through the city. So it's got a lovely atmosphere.
Wow, this place really does seem rather homey. I mean, for a moment there, I thought I walked into a trash hole, but it's much nicer than I thought.
It's more homely. Melody,
yeah.
do you
homely? No, it's homey.
What? No, it's the same thing.
No, it's not. Oh, is this a human thing? This must be a human thing.
Yeah, probably. Melody, do you drink beer?
She's drunk beer with you before.
Really?
Yeah, in
thing we had near Forest. Beer tasty.
Well, yeah. Now I remember.
I should point out that if this tavern is described as quite busy, Melody is looking around nervously and is staying a bit too close to comfort to Gil.
It's busy, but you're given a nice seat. In fact, actually just slightly outside. It's like one of those things where they've got window doors, and you're just slightly outside of a door. You can kind of look in. You can also look out. So it's a little better for Melody.
That's probably the only reason that Melody is talking relatively comfortably, as much as Melody ever talks comfortably.
She's great. So your beer comes here in lovely wooden mugs and all that, and they do ask if you want some food. It would be what is it? Roundabout. If you want a drink of food and an infinite, which you do, I think it's going to be round about 1 gold each.
Gilwyn would. Are we at the table? Did you say?
Yeah, you're seated by now.
Gilwyn would have put his elbows on the table and sort of looked at the woman and her amazing personality and sort of just said, "What? Do you have any sweets or desserts or anything?"
Oh well, we have some sweet rolls
Scrumptious.
in. We have some sweet rolls in, but not much. I do know that there's a lovely pâtissier in the Elvish district that would be closed now. No, but sometimes nice for sweets. No, for creatures that apparently don't sleep, they sure do go to bed very early.
Well, I'll just take a sweet roll then. Does anyone want a sweet roll? Melody? Sid?
Oh, I know I shouldn't. I mean, my aging metabolism and all, but okay, you know,
you
it
look
fits
good.
me.
Live a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah.
That's very old man of you, Scott. You got into character instantly.
Yeah, Melody, you're looking a bit pensive. Have you ever had a sweet roll before?
Melody just shakes her head. You can't quite tell whether it's not understanding or whether she hasn't had a sweet roll.
3 sweet rolls, please.
She goes and comes back and assumes that you want some other food too because you come back into travel. So you end up spending the money and have like, you know, a little bit of a platter with some bread and cheeses and grapes and things. And then one gold each, yeah. And then some sweet rolls.
If you're expecting Melody to contribute to this payment, you are going to have to
ask
explain this
specifically.
to her.
That's true.
I'll cover it.
And some lovely
Have that
sweet rolls.
conversation. Fuck that.
That's just way too hard. So you're given relative peace here. It's one of these places you could probably poke around for a while if you wanted to, and cause mischief and look around and talk to people. It's a very talkative bar, but you probably don't want to. You probably just want to chill for the night.
Yeah. For the fuck of it, I'll do a perception roll if that's okay.
It's always fine with me, Dean. For the fuck of it.
Great.
You look around. The only real thing that you find super interesting, you probably with Gilwin, you probably are just like you noticed that really early, and you just keep noticing it again because you find it interesting. There's a straight up like cartoonish wizard at one of these corner tables with like robes and a hat, and a beard and like everything. And even in a world with fantasy where wizards are more possible, it's still a stereotype. And he's got a spellbook in front of him and a spellbook beside him, and he's sort of reading both of them. He's like sort of going back between them, and he has like a platter of a spent meal and drinks and things. That's like the only thing that really catches your eye.
Completely distracted, like as I get my beer out and I'm like, oh, this is great, I immediately like pull out like a couple of tools onto the table and a little device, and I'm like tinkering away at it. So as you're like noticing these things, you're also noticing I'm noticing nothing.
You don't give a fuck.
Melody is
come on,
poking
you
the sweet
stubborn
roll
little-
and, like it's slowly.
It's like you poke it and like the icing just like gloops back, and you're like, oh.
Then she does try it, and she seems to enjoy it.
We're gonna have her on a sugar rush, and it's gonna be dangerous.
How is it, Melody?
Yeah.
You like it?
This tasty, strange, not normal, not meat, not fruit.
No, it's like
Who's
fucked
this?
up arcane shit. It's all very magical.
Magical. She nods at this, accepting your explanation.
It's delicious. Sid, what are you doing?
Huh? What? Oh,
What-
I'm just trying to get this blasted contraption to work here. I mean, it's it's giving me quite the issues. I mean, here, look at this sprocket over here. And he like turns the thing over and he's like showing the thing. He's like, you see this? I mean, I originally designed it to perfectly fit inside here, but despite that fact, it doesn't actually fit inside here. And so I had to bend it slightly to actually make it fit inside there. But now that it fits inside there the way that it's supposed to, it's not making the connection to the other area the way it's supposed to. It's not conducting the electricity, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm trying to really just add some conductivity to it. I was thinking about melting some gold on top because gold is actually really good for conductivity. But I don't know. It's just it's frustrating.
Yeah, fucking
Why? What?
fucking sprockets. I just wanted to know what you were doing.
Oh, well, you know, and then he shows you like what he's working on, and he literally like rips the head off of the little cat thing, and he has the head like split in half, and he's going there. He's like, the cognizance on this thing is really lacking. I mean, do you hear that strange noise it's making? It bothers me every time. I'm trying to make it so it's a little bit smarter. That, and it seems to have really taken to you, which, I mean, I have no problem with that, but it's like really taken to you and not to anybody else. I mean, what creature takes to only one person and can't like expand beyond that? I mean, it even seems to be somewhat vicious towards the others, including myself.
Well, even whatever the fuck that is admires beauty, apparently.
Are you?
I'll sort of like do that.
Are you really just like complimenting yourself?
Yeah, do it all the time.
You're right. You do look very homely.
And there's the punchline. Well done. Well done. So I suppose the night goes without any issue, which is fine. You know, you can just eat and drink to a reasonable amount and then go to bed. Or you could drink an extravagant amount and not go to bed. But I guess your drinking buddy is Vale, and he's already gone to bed. He's already ordered.
Sally has the one tall glass, and he slowly sips it throughout the night. You know, I mean, I really shouldn't, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, Melody probably not order anything more. Would probably not order anything herself. So whether or not she probably wouldn't get drunk off one glass.
She's big,
big, strong woman.
She's a big doyle.
So unless Gil is trying to get her drunk, she probably wouldn't get drunk. And I can't imagine you should try to get her drunk.
Jesus, Sid, your sprockets are making a strange sound over there.
Oh, you know, this one over here, it broke part of its foot, and so, you know, it's really trying to just get better at the moment. I have to watch after it, because even though it's just a little device thingy, it's trying to, like, lick its foot and nibble on it, and it's just going to make the mechanics a lot worse. So, you know, here I am putting a sock on a mechanical device to make sure it doesn't lick its toes.
I'm just more interested that you carry around socks, just in case of that particular instance occurs.
I know. I'm also kind of tying it through the fourth walls of the fact that my dog actually did break one of its toes, and I'm trying to stop my actual dog from licking its foot.
Ah, well, that makes sense, Scott. Sid.
What? In my show? There's no such thing as a fourth wall.
Since Vale's not there, I guess Gil would just... It'd try and poke conversation, but Sid's obviously busy and Melody is Melody.
You have no conversation to have with these people. To be fair,
Sid would totally chat. It's just one of those things where if you interrupt him enough, where he's like, I'm just not gonna get anything done, he would actually put the stuff down and put it, like, very poignantly put it away. Because, like, if it's out, it's like you ever been at a bar with somebody and then and like if their cell phone is with them, or God forbid it's on the bar, it's like you're trying to talk to them, but they're always fucking looking at their phone. Like, they always pick it up, they're always playing with it, or they're always like, they just barely touch it just to see, like, if the screen lights up in case there's a message there, and they're like talking to you, but they're not really paying attention. They're clearly waiting for a message from anybody else. And it's like one of those, that's Sid when he's with his devices, so he needs to put it away, because, like, it'll always be an itch on the forefront of his mind if it's in front of him. It's like that.
Okay.
He's that kind of douchebag.
Yeah, in that case, then I'd be poking him every other minute or whatever.
Oh, yeah. So eventually he literally goes, I guess I'll fix it later, and, like, snaps the head, finishes putting it back together, and puts that, like, screws the head back in, and puts the cat back down, and it's like, and, like, immediately goes over and, like, crawls up onto your shoulder, and, like, he puts all of his tools away, and with a semi-loud clang, drops him onto the floor next to his chair, and he's like, so, hey, where's Val?
Yeah, clearly was a little bit of a tidy rumpus today. I don't know what that means.
What is that?
Words.
Did you have a little bit of a stroke there?
Yeah.
Rumpus. Tidy rumpus.
Tidy rumpus. I'm saving that for later. It's an inside joke between Gil and Vale.
None of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It's my pet name for him. I call him Rumpus sometimes.
Oh, okay. Strange, but okay. Well.
Do you remember when we met? And you were extremely annoying. Do you remember that?
No.
Prior to you being annoying, what was going on? You said there was an explosion, and then you were in a bag, and you almost died. Can we get some...
Oh, context. You're looking for context.
Exactly.
Oh, as I said, I was traveling. I had a wagon being pulled, and it had all the things that I was working on, and I got an idea. Now, I'll tell you right now, it was brilliant, absolutely stunning. And I was like, I need to do this now before I forget what my idea is. And it wasn't like one of those, why don't you write it down and work on it later on, buddy? That's smarter. Like, you have to understand, this idea was so complex, I probably would have forgotten it in the amount of time it took me to write down the algorithm than if I just did it myself. So I went and grabbed my bag, and I'm like working through my bag and getting the stuff that I need, and I'm setting up all the tools and the chemicals and everything that I have to do, and I'm like working on this, and then there was literally one more ingredient that I needed in my bag, and I couldn't find it, and I don't know why. I don't know where it is, and even as of right now, I have no clue where it is. And so I'm searching through my bag, and well, the stuff that it's set up to work on, I mean, it's time sensitive, and things kind of overboiled and overturned, and it caused a mini explosion. Nothing too extreme, just enough to throw an old little gnome off of his feet and into his bag, which wouldn't have been such a big deal. But when I got thrown into the bag, it also like knocked the bag over and put the flap on it, and well, I don't know if you've ever been inside a bag of holding, but you can't exactly get yourself out. You need a little bit of help. And unfortunately, that bag is designed to lock itself. And, well, my little companions don't have the means to unlock. And so I was stuck inside my bag. And luckily you came along and helped me out. Unfortunately, though, now I can't remember the algorithm or even have the tools to accomplish it if I did.
But you do seem to remember the ingredient you were missing, so maybe you could work backwards from there.
I mean, that's a really good point. And he like scrambles around for like a piece of parchment, and he like
Melody,
starts,
you see this? I'm smart.
He starts like writing stuff down, and again, unless you go to poke him or prod him again,
You've lost him again.
you lost him again. Spark genius in him, and he's like, oh yeah, well, I can totally work on this, and that's right, I needed that many gilowatts, and
Gilowatts? Yeah. It's a fantasy term.
That's right. It's beyond the giga. So,
that's right. I needed 7 rumpus coins.
And so yeah, he's kind of doing his thing, scrambling down his notes and for what he's doing. Again, you could totally interrupt him again, but for now he's lost.
Yeah, you lose him again. You notice, Gil, that like no one. I mean, you're in the garden, and there's not actually that many people in the garden. The one person who is here is like a Goliath, who's probably out here because he's probably doesn't really fit very well out there. So he's on like a bench.
Hold on. Goliath and Jarviskjir.
Mm-hmm.
What is their like? Where did they come from?
Give me a history roll. Give me a history roll.
I was asking for an out-of-game knowledge, but sure, Oliver, I will roll history.
Hang on.
I'm not.
Hang on. Excuse me, DM. I mean, that was a good roll. So,
now, I expect all of the answers.
Traditionally, they come from a continent to the northwest of Jarviskjir called Mother's Horn, but some of them just sort of settled on Jarviskjir and have been there for a long time in various clans. In fact, there's a good deal of them that live in Witchwood in the Elven lands. So who knows where he came from, but traditionally they came from Mother's Horn, which actually Sid knows quite well about, because that's more or less where some things, I don't know how much you want me to say, Scott, but there were some wars in the past with people from there. So you know about the you've probably not been, you've never been there, almost definitely.
Were they on the opposite side of the battles, or this side?
The opposite side. That's where Minotaur and Goliath come from, and they often work together, so you would have met, probably, I don't know, you weren't like actually in battles.
I imagine if Sid noticed that there is a Goliath, and it's very unlikely he would notice a hulking thing moving around. If he did notice it, it'd be one of those things where he'd like put his mind like a tracer on him, like just every once in a while he would definitely unconsciously like, look up, like, oh, where is he? Oh, like, but not something he would consciously do at all. It's like that latent racism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the races you'd have that for would be definitely Minotaur and Goliath, and sometimes the Aarakocra, but they're pretty rare.
Yeah.
So,
bird people.
Would Sid be trying to hide that, or would Gil notice?
I think Sid wouldn't even notice he's doing it.
He's so unconscious, he wouldn't even know he's doing it himself. Yeah.
But you can feel free to give me an old insight roll.
Okay.
Mr. Gilwyn. But yeah, no one seems to mind him tinkering. He's like makes a mess and he does a lot of things. And even when he's writing his notes, he's all elbows. He's all over the place. So, but luckily you're off on your own enough. You can tell this garden area usually would have a lot of people in it, and is designed for people who aren't too big for a normal tavern. But, yeah. Go ahead and give me that. You absolutely notice.
Normally Gil wouldn't even care to ask or notice if he was with Vale, but since he's got nothing better to do, he's kind of bored. He's just kind of a little bit more perceptive than usual.
That is true. That is how it works.
Does he say anything, or does he kind of just note it and tuck it away?
I just sort of glance over at the Goliath and see what he's doing, because to me I'm just like, well, he's looking at this person, but I have no idea why.
This guy is looking at a map. Doesn't seem to be able to understand it very well. You can tell without even like a roll, he's holding it upside down.
It's upside down.
Oh, fuck me. Alright. Jeez.
I raise my...
Yeah, he raises his. It's way bigger than yours. And goes back to what he's doing. He doesn't spark conversation. Although you feel like he probably would talk if you went over to him. But I don't know how much. I just
really, I mean, it's one of those things where now, if I were really to channel it through here, it would definitely increase the amount of power that's put out over here. But if I do that, then it's probably gonna burn out the entire.
Sid.
Oh, yes.
Sid likes talking.
Melody, you're an observant rumpus. Listen, Sid.
Vale is rumpus.
I'm still waiting.
I've noticed you looking at that Goliath a couple of times.
Goliath? What?
Shh.
Oh, him?
Right. Have you ever heard of the concept of whispering?
Of course. I'm a gnome.
Shall we employ that?
This is literally a breed of us called whispered gnomes.
I should have known that. Now I look like an idiot. Oh well. Let's just get out.
Yeah, so he leans in and he leans like his elbows onto the table and leans in. He's like,
"So, what are we whispering about there, friend?"
I just noticed you kept looking at that Goliath.
Was I?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 times in the last 2 minutes.
Oh, I didn't realize. My eyes must have just been wandering while I was, thinking.
It seemed like subconscious, but you were always making out that Goliath. Like your mind had a.
I mean, I don't know. It's just I'm sure he's a fine fella. It's just you. Have you ever met a Goliath before?
I've seen 1 or 2 in Goldport, but I've never really conversed with one.
I've seen what 1 or 2 of them can do in a battlefield, and it's just you keep an eye in case something happens. I guess I don't know. He seems like a nice guy.
Whoa! Whoa! Battlefield?
Yeah.
I thought you were some like rickety old gnome. I didn't know you would.
I may be old now, but I'll have you know the ladies once knew me as far from rickety and far from old.
I thought you were gonna go with like a nickname then, but
more like rockety and more like bold.
They'd know me as Rumpus.
Hi, Proddy.
But from
my legs. Like,
from these pieces of information, Ollie, would Gilwyn sort of put together that gnomes and Goliaths have had?
Oh, you can easily put that together, but yeah, you can easily put that together, but I don't know if Gilwyn is the kind of person to assume everyone of every race is like that.
Oh yeah.
And you know nothing. You don't know where he's from.
Yeah,
but you can pick that together. But it's way more. It's not just he likes it. It's like a cultural thing.
Right.
And you put that together. And you can tell that this Goliath don't give a fuck. He hasn't even looked at the gnome once.
Ah. So it's just you're not scared or anything. You don't think we should?
Honestly, he seems more lost than anything. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Clearly. Well, I'm just making sure. We're companions now, unfortunately.
Well, now you have me all self-conscious, like I was doing something wrong.
No, it wasn't. No, honestly, it wasn't anything. You've been doing far worse things, trust me.
Like what?
That was a joke. Melody, back me up.
Are you fucking talking about me over here? And like he gets up, and he's way taller than you thought.
We are talking about you.
If he comes,
What do you ever say about me, little man?
You know what I have to say about you? I have to say that your mug looks a little too empty, and I'd love to fill it back up for you.
Oh. Well, that's a mighty nice, nice thing for you to do. And he, like, kind of puts the mug in, like, your lap. You can, like, basically hold it like that.
Well, I didn't mean me personally.
I'll do it.
Excuse me, can I get a little aid over here?
Yeah, like, they go over and you pay the requisite amount of, like, 5 copper to fill a mug that big with whatever ale you can. And,
Strongbow? Dark fruit? Alright.
Oh, he doesn't look like a guy that drinks fruity beer. He looks like a guy that wants a real beer.
Oh, I do like a real beer.
Yeah,
And he at this point, can't sit with you. Your table's too small and he's too big. But he just kind of like, as it's full, he just continues standing there. He's like, what are you guys doing? Oh, guys and girls.
Melody is just looking at him warily, like she feels slightly intimidated by this big guy.
So, for the record, Goliath, if you didn't know, are big, hairless, muscular humanoids. Now, not all of them are muscular, but they usually are. They've got a sort of stony skin, and they have tattoos all over their bodies that are quite, they're not bright, but they always have meaning. And they're usually quite geometric.
They are not half giants, but think half giants.
They are often called half giants, yeah.
But
and he just kind of stands there, just like, what's up? What's going on?
Do you want to go take a seat? It's a bit strange you stood up next to us, friend.
Oh, I mean, my seat's over there, and you're over here. We're gonna have a little bit of a conversation, a talky, eh? Well, I've got to stand here. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I do know that I need to be near you, talk to you. Oh, no, not the smartest man in the world.
That's not entirely true. If you'd like, we could always come up with a little sending stones, and we could talk at a pretty extreme distance if we had a pair of sending stones.
Look, I had a cousin who talked through throwing stones. I did, yeah.
Oh, hey, yeah. I'm familiar with that form of communication. It works great downhill. Absolutely awful the other way.
He doesn't, like, get it as a joke. He's like, yeah, you always was on top of the hill. Little bastard.
Well, that makes me wonder for a second. Are you familiar with, this term right here? And he'll actually grab like two. I imagine one of them's a rock and the other one's not a rock. It's just something else that's like dense and hard, but not quite metal because it would sound different. And he like taps them together in some way to like make like almost like they're kind of Morse code or whatever. I mean, I speak Common, Dwarven, and Gnomish, but it's one of those like rudimentary, basic like clink, clink, clink.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's reasonable for you. He's like, it's a fucking new instrument, innit? You like drums? You get them for free. They're all over the place. I never thought of that. I'm not quite the musical type. Well, I know who Lasso was.
Oh, you want to speak about lasses who are musical? You know what? You should really meet our friend here, Melody.
Melody?
You're alright, Melody.
Melody? She's
Melody,
still looking at him slightly.
Could you play a song, Melody?
A song? Yes. And she gets the lyre out of the bag and starts strumming.
Give me a performance roll.
I'm not in. I'm not.
You're not. You not got advantage.
No, I'm not following anyone
else.
Melody
has advantage if she's helping people.
I'm just gonna do this on the table and sort of watch her.
She actually plays like a nice little tune. It's more or less what you have been playing to her, but like when you like randomly play, like sort of doodling equivalent. You basically she's playing what you did when you were just like fucking around. Sid, what are you doing?
Oh, I sneak away. Like distraction, and then I leave.
Melody's just pleased that somene's listening to her.
He does not fucking notice. He sits back down where he was, but he's like super invested. He's like, He's
fine.
your friend.
She's happy about this. So she's calmed down to him now. He seems to like music. He's a good person. In
He's big,
books.
but he doesn't like seem threatening at the moment.
Exactly.
You think that's good? I'll pull out my loot. And
I do think that's good.
Yeah, well, you ain't seen nothing yet, Pedro. And I will play.
You're not doing very well when it comes to words today, are you? For a bard.
You're right now, Bratwurst. You're like, girl, I need attention.
I keep
Don't
seeing
look down,
dogs.
do that and say Broutwest.
Is it bad if I say it's licking its lips at me?
It raises further questions, that's for sure.
Come here, Brownie.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, look, see?
You play in a way that is technically far greater. This guy doesn't seem to care. He enjoys it both the same, but you can tell he's kind of like more interested in her, just a little bit. But you know you did a better job. It's like I did.
Yeah.
Like she has no technique.
Well, mine's more progressive, but I guess if you're like the mainstream sort of watered down, that's okay. That's fine.
Melody would try and join in with Gil's performance after.
Yeah,
as well,
and then you can play a bit after that. Sid, do you just like go to a room?
I went to the table where he was sitting before, since now it's empty, and I'm just sitting there, and I pulled my stuff back.
You just do your stuff. Yeah, that's perfect for everyone.
Literally, like the next table over or whatever.
A logistical question: because he rolled a 9, then does that mean my passive perception of 10?
Yes, you totally saw him. Yeah. And often, usually, if you're stealthing with your party, it's not like he's trying to hide from you, so usually you can see it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, you absolutely saw him.
I was slipping away from everybody.
Oh yeah, then.
Like stealth my way out of here.
Well,
it was more of a conversational stealth.
It was a good little bit of what's it
timing.
called? Manipulation and timing. Yeah.
Yeah. But go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, I would notice that and sort of intentionally distract this guy then. Because I'm kind of assuming what Sid's up to.
Yeah, he has the Goliath guy has a good time with you and sort of laughs and jokes and actually buys you all a round of drinks at some point, and it's noticeably stronger. It's essentially the fancy equivalent of like a Jaeger bomb. It's like a sugary drink with like a liquor in it, like an extra shot of liquor, and you don't drink it like a Jaeger bomb, but it's essentially the same kind of like you got a bit of a rush from it. And he's like, you gotta drink it all at once.
Now.
Good times.
Melody has hardly drunk alcohol before. I'm making a Constitution save if we're doing Jaeger bombs.
Sure. Gilwyn just doesn't need to.
I'm curious, if we're doing Jaeger bombs, does that mean something like Red Bull exists?
Actually, it does.
Are we just doing like straight cocaine inside liquor? Is that what's going on? Are we like drinking cocaine-laced liquor?
I mean, I thought that's what happened on Lost Initiative the other night.
It's a good thing. No, that was opioids. That was downers instead of uppers. But so it's a good thing that Salney is not over there drinking with you guys. You do not want Salney on cocaine.
That's funny. So yeah, you hold your drink and he hangs out with you for a little longer. All sorts of empty conversation and playing of music and chatting. And eventually he's like, I've been trying to work out this treasure map. I got this treasure map from my friend. He's dead. I don't know what to do with it. I can't really read it. None.
Right. So, like, sorry, first of all, what's your name? I don't think...
Oh! My name's Bearcatcher.
Bearcatcher?
Caught me a bear, I did. No, I don't mean I hunted it. It was falling and I caught it.
Oh.
Scratched me up like a fuck. But, good story.
Yeah.
Has he put the map down on the table at this point? Or...
Yes.
Melody is examining the map. She probably doesn't really understand it very well, but she's looking at it anyway.
Sure, give me a survival roll. And you can do the same if you want, old Gilwyn. Now, Gilwyn has the advantage here because he can actually read the map. Not that I'm going to give you advantage, but you're just going to do a lot better. But both Bearcatcher and Melody can't read the map. But Melody instantly can work out from the way the map's designed is that there's a little bit of Northenden, and it's mostly the mountain sort of Northenden is resting up against. You can actually sort of like see it, and it seems to be the map is like, hey, go up the mountain, like go up the peak, not all the way, and it's like go up these ways, and there's a thing, and it's got like a little thing for like treasure, and it's actually done in like golden ink, so it like kind of catches the candlelight on the table, and both of you can easily read that as like, oh, it's like up there, sort of, that sort of area. It's not very far away.
Melody immediately says, "This map, that mountain, up there."
Well, I've color me. I always thought I knew mountains. Good to know one who was staring right in front of me in the face. Well,
Mr. Bearcatcher.
Bearcatcher's fine. Mr. Bearcatcher was my father.
I knew you'd say that.
I was afraid he was going to say that joke.
Does anyone else know about this map?
Oh, my friend's dead. I had a
Okay,
friend.
that's okay.
Yeah, he's dead.
It's time to poison Mr. Bearcatcher.
True neutral.
They're the exact symbol.
I'm truly neutral to the idea of him being dead.
Well, some people do true neutral as like really greedy, to be fair.
That's neutral evil.
Yeah.
But you can't really work out what the actual symbol at the top of the mountain is meant to mean, other than like it's clearly the end. It's got little like voirs around it, and it's done in golden ink, whereas nothing else is. And there's a little bit of like there be danger occasionally, but mostly it's just like it's a mountain.
Do you know what this is a map for? And don't say treasure, I mean specifically Mr. Bearcatcher.
I know a little bit. Now, my friend was the one who was the, what's the word? Smart. My friend was the one that was smart. He got the thinking box.
Right.
Little fella, tiny little fella. They call him Arflings, right? He was a little Arfling, but he was smart, and he got the map. It was a reward, reward for services tendered. We did something for someone. We got the map in return. Apparently, at the top there's a place that is completely filled with monsters. And these monsters hoard these treasures, old relics and things, old antiquities, but sell pretty well to the kind that respect them.
So the treasure map contains, or rather leads to, several treasures, is what you're saying.
Well, I've been led to believe that there's stuff up there. There's a place up there that has treasures in it, but it's all in one place. So I usually just refer to it as the one treasure in the treasure map, because treasures map doesn't sound nice.
No, you're absolutely right. What? Whoa. Mr. Bearcatcher, have you noticed this? And I will point to the map and cast Prestidigitation.
Yeah.
And put like an X off where the mountain is. Like, I don't know.
Would you put it? Basically, you put it either on the other side of the mountain, like further along the mountain range, or in the forests.
Basically, Gillen's a piece of shit.
He's being a piece of shit, and I'm loving it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm loving it too.
Yeah, further down the mountain range. Yeah.
Yeah. You do that. That's absolutely fine. You don't need to roll for it. Do give me a deception roll. But I'm just gonna tell you, this guy has some serious debuffs to what he's rolling here.
I was hoping Natty won.
Go ahead and also give an insight roll. He rolled a 1, but not a natty 1. You absolutely see what he's doing.
This is boredom, it isn't malice.
Yeah! You're just fucking with people because you're bored, which is worse.
That's 7, sorry, that's huge.
So, he's like, What's it? More? Is this another treasure? I didn't even see this. I saw this one and that bit, and I think that's meant to mean, like, dragons. But what?
I didn't even see this. Holy shit.
That's great. You could go get that treasure and then get this treasure on the way back. That's
Mr.
great.
Bearcatcher, I've had an extremely smart idea.
Oh shit!
Why don't we, me and my two friends here, why don't we go to the original place? And why don't you go to this new one that you just found? You can. I found it, but you can take the credit for it.
Oh, it seems fair. I mean, the most obvious one for the treasure is usually like a ruse, right? Probably all the real treasure's going to be over here.
Exactly.
You know what? You've both proven to be fast friends. I'll take you up on this offer, Mr. Gilwin. And he hugs you.
Hello, bane of the
he hugs both of you.
Bastards.
This is getting its own song. Bear Catcher's Lament. So he's like, yeah. What? I'm gonna go tomorrow. I'm gonna run up there tomorrow. I'm gonna run up a mountain, just like the old days. Like I'm a sprog.
What time specifically?
Dawn.
Dawn. Okay.
Dawn. Yeah.
You're gonna go to the treasure that I have shown you at dawn.
Well, I'm gonna start going. Probably gonna take longer.
No,
you ever climbed a mountain before? It's not that easy.
I have never climbed a mountain.
Well, you're gonna have to prepare, especially
I've never,
you're a little
caught a bear either.
Yeah, well, I would recommend against that, unless you need to come of age in a Goliath ceremony of some sort. But you look like you probably couldn't handle a mountain, to be honest.
No, I'll go with you.
Yeah, great.
Actually, no.
Oh.
You'll
go separately.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if we all go together, that'll be suspicious. And the treasure goblins will know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melody, can you keep a secret?
Secret? Melody, yeah. Yes.
Perfect.
Melody keeps secret.
Great!
You're not quite sure she understood.
Smacks the table great! Yeah! You know what I'm going to do? Always needed before a good mountain climbing. Nice, good, healthy rest. I'll go to bed. And he lumbers his way under the door. I'm catching
as he
Dean's
off,
inability to speak.
Without really waiting until he's out of earshot, Melody turns to Gil. She would just be in a normal tone and just say, Gil, why change map?
I'll sort of grin and look at the Goliath to see if he knows.
He's you could actually hear him. He's like, go get a nice tasty bit of food before I go to bed. He's off in his own fucking world. He's incredibly stupid. Now, I think Gilwin is fine with dealing with incredibly stupid people, but he was just. This is why you don't. You don't even worry. You look and check, but you're like, he didn't hear that.
Well, I changed it just to sort of a little bit of fun, but then I kind of just kept lying, and now I'm gonna rob a man of his treasure. Apparently, I'm very bored tonight, Melody.
Lying, not good, but boredom worse. Understands.
You're teaching her real bad shit. I'm just saying.
He's going at dawn, so maybe. What time is it?
It's now. It's night. It's sometime in the night. The sun's down by very least.
That sounds more like evening.
It's nighttime though. It's a little bit further. It was evening when you got here to this tavern.
What o'clock?
I don't know. I'm trying to think that in my brain piece right now. Probably 1 a.m.
If Gil actually asked that out loud, Melody would probably give him long time till dawn or something like that, because she's lived in a forest.
She knows, she just can't word it.
She probably knows. Yeah, she doesn't give 5 hours or something, but she would give
if you want a time till dawn, what would it be, 6 hours or something?
So Melody would probably give time, would probably say something like 1 normal sleep until dawn.
That's a very weird sentence.
1 normal sleep.
Yeah.
like one hunt of the rabbit hare until dawn, but only 3 squirrel farts since dusk.
That's how you work it out. Fart for a long time, squirrels.
I'm torn. Do I rob a Goliath of his treasure, or do I
Be
just tell him
bored.
I was making?
You can ask Salny.
Oh yeah, what is Salmy?
Now that the Goliath's gone, like, you remember, yeah, he's just over there. Sid's just over there. You've left him alone for like 2 hours, and he's just on his own making shit, perfectly happy. Probably smiling more now than when he was talking to you.
Sid,
Huh? Yeah?
do you want to go get some treasure?
Hey, where'd your friend go? Like, realizing that he's not there.
He went to bed.
Oh, okay. What?
Do you want to get some treasure?
Oh, what? You know, I really could use some more money to finance what I'm working on here.
Exactly.
It's difficult when you don't have the banks backing you. You know what I mean?
I would like you to just justify quickly if you could come over here.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. And I pile together like now I have like I don't know 17 like fleshed out papers with like both sides scribbled on and notes all over the place. Like it just looks like scribbles and doodles. And like I kind of like put them all together neatly and like put like a paper clip or something on them, put them into my bag, hoist up my bag and make my way over, plop it next to my chair, and then climb up into it and sit down and be like, "Where'd my beer go?" I'm sure the Goliath drank it a long time ago.
I was just sitting there and Bearcatcher. His name is Bearcatcher, by the way.
Oh,
Is that strange for Goliaths to?
oh, he just seems kind of small for someone to catch a bear. Maybe it was a cub. Maybe he's more of a cub catcher.
No, they look pretty strong. I'm thinking it's a pretty hefty bear. Anyway,
I
that's
don't know.
not.
I thought he was kind of small. No,
No. You're small. He's a Goliath.
no. What? No, I mean in context. Small for a Goliath, not
Comparatively small.
yes, to other Goliaths, not to
Yes.
myself.
Oh yeah.
Why are you so confused right now?
Sid. Just.
Bearcatcher bigger than us.
Thank you, Melody.
That
See?
is
He
that
big.
is. I'm sorry,
big.
I didn't realize that I had to state givens.
Look,
You didn't?
I did some.
With Melody around?
I did
I have
something.
8 wisdom. Go ahead, Nicotine.
I did something a little bit mean, and it was just as a joke. But now I'm kind of thinking we should go along with it.
Wait, you did something mean and you want to follow through?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know that map that the Goliath was ridiculously, idiotically reading?
Absolutely not. He had a map?
Yes, he had a map,
Oh, okay.
and it led to treasure.
Treasure.
Oh, that's good for him. I'm sure it was just fake.
You think it's fake?
Well, aren't most treasure maps fake? I mean, how often do you actually find a treasure map that actually has treasure at the end of the map? Is this? I am sorry. You're a bard. I thought you were telling a tale. You keep going, and I'll just listen.
No, that's a good point. However, it was given to him and his friend as a sort of reward for a deed they'd done. And I'm not saying that all rewards are, financially viable and they're all fair. But I'm just thinking, if we go there and there is treasure, we've got fucking treasure. But if we go there and there's deadly things, we kill the deadly things.
And we
Oh,
got
so we're
fucking
gonna
treasure.
travel with Bearcatcher?
Huh?
Are we traveling with him?
No, I let him off a different way because I'm an asshole. That's kind of what I wanted you to justify for me.
Wait, so you misled him a different path, and you want us to go on the correct one?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're kind of an asshole, but it's a way to get the job done.
Yeah.
The problem is, if you don't have a copy of the map, how are we going to know where we're going? We're going to trust. We're going to trust.
Melody remembers direction.
And he kind of like, when you say me and Melody, and she speaks up, he kind of like slowly looks over at her, like, "Oh, nice." And kind of like looks back, and he's like, So you saw our map once for a couple of minutes, and you think you memorized it well enough to get us exactly where we need to go?
You think it was a couple of minutes? You've been sat over there for 2 hours.
It's been 2 hours?
Yes.
Oh my! Oh jeez! Oh, I did not realize it's been 2 hours. Oh.
It's been 2 hours.
I really have to fix my timekeeper.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're what's the word I'm looking for here? Conniving. I wonder if your memory's strong enough to actually bring us along the right path. I mean, usually maps aren't to scale, right? Like if you're looking at a picture of something on the side of a mountain, it's not exactly on that spot of a mountain, right? You follow the landmarks that are along the map that until you get to where you're going. So I mean, was it a perfectly scaled map or was it a landmark map?
Good question.
Do you remember the landmarks between point A and point B or just point B?
Do I remember the landmarks between?
You
point B
remember
and
the
point B?
landmarks. That's mostly what you're going to be going off, is the landmarks, not the route specifically, you know?
Yes, I remember the landmarks between point A and point B.
Well, you say that with confidence. I believe you.
I say everything with confidence.
Should I not believe you then?
No.
I was doing the same thing, like, shit, what's the right answer here? How do you say this? Well, with that, perfect way to end the night out, as Gilwyn becomes a bad guy. We'll be back in a few minutes. With a treasure hunt, yay! Although we don't have a map, boo! But they remember it, yay! But it's Gilwyn and Melody, boo. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Right down.
Good dog.